I'm hoping this is working. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna turn my phone off. All right, hey guys. So it is Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, and every Monday we're just gonna hang out. Also, if you guys have not subscribed yet to my channel, please subscribe if this is the first time you're checking everything out. I'm Olivia. I'm gonna pop out the live chat box, so if you guys have any questions while I am talking, then we can, I'll answer them. But I do want to say that, so I want to talk about why I'm doing this, first of all, and I'm going to take a second to just chill out for a second because I am so nervous right now, you guys. You have no idea. I'm so nervous. I'm going to have some water and I'm going to chill out for a second. So yeah. Also, if you guys will let me know in the live chat box if you can hear me and the video footage is all good, that'd be great. So just give me like a yes or a thumbs up or something. Okay. So, I think the first thing I want to do is kind of show you guys some photos that I've never really been comfortable showing people. Not even everybody in my personal life knows that I've gone through this journey. So this is something that is going to be really public and open for everybody. So yeah, this is a book that I took pictures when I was back visiting in China when I was about 15 or 16, I think. And these are actually like cleaned up versions of how I used to look because they're more professional pictures. So I do want to show you guys this. This is me. Like, this is really me. And I never took photos back then because I was not comfortable with the way that I looked. I didn't like to be in any pictures because, when you are a bigger person, you kind of almost stay in denial about it. And if you avoided taking pictures, it wasn't something that you would ever really have to deal with because you don't really have to look at yourself. Here's some more pictures for you guys to see. This is so hilarious. And the side note was really funny. My shirt says, oh my gosh, I remember, I was like, why would I wear this? Where is it? It says, take my boyfriend, not my bikini. I have no idea. I don't know. Here's a better picture for you guys to see. So at my highest weight, I think I was about 225 pounds. To be honest, by the time that I got to about 210 pounds, I never weighed myself because I didn't want to know. And that goes back to the whole denial thing is you don't really want to think about it. You don't want to talk about it. You don't want to even address the fact that you're overweight and you're not like everybody else, especially because during this time when I was gaining weight, I was in middle school and high school. So that's a little bit of a background, but the reason that I am doing this is because I want to share my story so that I can help you. Any one of you, it doesn't matter who it is, just if I can help one person by making myself uncomfortable and making myself talk about the things that I don't want to talk about, that's amazing. So I think one of the most amazing things about social media is you get to create this platform where you're able to reach people that you wouldn't have before. When I was 15, there was no such thing as Instagram or Snapchat or YouTube or anything like this where I could look up to people and actually feel like I was understood. And that's what it is for me. I want to be one voice in all of that where people are telling you how to look, what magazines are photoshopping girls where the girl doesn't even look like the girl in the magazine. I want to be positive change in the world, and my voice isn't just mine. It's all of you guys, every single one of you. It's you. It's the girl who feels like she's never good enough. It's the guy who can never talk about his eating disorders. Every single person. And that's why I'm doing this, you guys. It's not about me. It's about you. It's about all of us. So with that said, that's why I decided to share my journey. But I do want to talk about my journey a little bit more. and have you guys understand what I went through, so that maybe it could help you guys out. Because honestly, I just want to let you guys know that I am in such an amazing place in my life right now. Like, I'm so happy, and it took me so long to get here, and I want you guys to know that you guys can get there too. And I really wish that I could hug every single one of you and like sit with you and like buy you a cup of coffee and just talk about life and talk about how you guys are doing, because I honestly care about every single one of you. It's not about the amount of followers, it's not about the likes, it's not about any of that. And I promise you guys that if that ever changes with me, you guys need to be the ones that are like, Olivia, get it together, because that's not why I'm doing this. It's not about any of that. So with that said, I want to talk about how I did it, because I think a lot of you guys want to know how I ended up losing 100 pounds. So when I was about, I would say 13, a lot of stuff was happening in my life and things that I didn't have any control over. So I looked to food to fill that void. And I remember one of the very first times that I ever overate. I really didn't think much of it, because no one was telling me that, I couldn't binge eat, and I didn't even know what binge eating was. And so during that time, to cope, I would just eat. This would include like chips, pizza, just all kinds of stuff that when you're younger and you're in your teenage years, you don't necessarily know what is healthy and what is not healthy. And so by the time I was, in middle school, around the time that I was 13, I started getting bullied a lot. And that was something that I never really actually even wanted to think about until recently and deal with. I forgot how badly I got bullied. This one time I remember a girl calling me Pumbaa because my friend was a lot shorter and smaller than me and called her Timon and called me Pumbaa. And that really sucked. That really, really sucked. And I remember as I started high school, the bullying didn't necessarily get better. So I was lucky I had a group of friends that I could go to, and we would sit in the hallway and have lunch and stuff. But during classes and stuff, people would always pick on me and make me feel terrible because I was overweight. I mean, I was over 200 pounds. I wasn't small by any means. And when you're in high school, that's kind of you just stand out. And I remember one time, this guy, because I really wanted to be cool, and this was during the time when Abercrombie and Fitch was totally a thing. And I wore a skirt, and another girl wore the same skirt, and he kept making fun of me for wearing that skirt because I was bigger. And that really sucked. And then when I started college, I wanted to start over new, and that was kind of when I knew that my at the end of my senior year in high school, I kind of knew that if I was big for the rest of my life, that I would be held back by a lot of things, just because the world doesn't look at someone who's bigger as a human. It's almost like you're less than a human. And so after my senior year, during my senior year, I started losing some weight. And then after that, when I started college, I was like, wow, I get a chance to just start over. And so I really worked hard on losing weight. So that meant that I would exercise more. During high school, I had 1 hour of physical education every single day. So I would just watch what I ate. And then I also want to address something that I've never really talked about before, which is bulimia. So for me, when I was younger, I once in a while would eat a lot of food, and then I realized if I threw it up, that I wouldn't necessarily gain those calories. And that only happened once in a blue moon. And when I started college, though, I ended up living with someone who had bulimia severely, where she would throw up every single one of her meals. And so I thought that was normal. And that kind of put this thought in my head, because she was somebody that I was like, wow, like all these people think she's beautiful, and they think that, you know, like guys would constantly ask her out. And she was an amazing person, and she still is, and she's one of my friends. But I was like, oh, this must be normal. Like what you have to do to like stay thin is just throw up your food. So I ended up dealing with some of that. And eventually back in, I want to say 2014, 2015, I started to, I guess, journal my life on Instagram about like what I was doing, and I was following all of these fitness models, and it was like awesome because everyone was really into health and really into fitness, and they worked out. And so I got into this routine, and I would work out, and I would like eat only clean food. But then it became a little bit too much, because at that point, so I do want to say I'm 5'7", so I'm pretty tall. I got to be under 120 pounds. I do have photos that I'll show you guys, because I think it's important for you guys to see it. And honestly, during that time, I didn't even realize how skinny I had gotten, to the point where it was unhealthy, because I would be eating 1,200 calories a day, and then I would be doing an hour-long workout, and then I would also do cardio after. And usually I was doing this for 6 to 7 days a week, and that was normal, and I thought it was normal. But during that time, I was also in a very toxic relationship where the person that I was with made me feel fat. And that's something that's really hard to deal with, because when you have lost a lot of weight, even though your body may be changing, your emotions don't necessarily change. For the longest time, when people would laugh or people would, you know, giggle or something like that, I would automatically think they were talking about me. And the person that I was dating at the time, I remember one time sitting on his lap, and remember, I was under 120 pounds, and he said, "Get off, you're really heavy." And that triggered so much in me. And I honestly, it wasn't until I left that relationship did I realize that that person just was not healthy for me. And, you know, stuff like that, it's really hard. But here's some photos that I could show you guys. So, like my arm, like that's crazy. And I thought I was fat. Like, that's not okay. Like, there's just no reason to think that. So anyways, after that, I got to the point where I was also going through some really tough loss in my life. And that kicked up my bulimia, that kicked up my binge eating, and that kicked up everything. And finally, I just had a moment where I was like, you know, Olivia, you seem very confident on the outside, and you seem to be going through life and doing things and setting goals and getting things accomplished, but I don't think you love yourself. And the moment I really accepted that, and I was journaling, meditating, you guys know I like do crystals and all of that. The moment I realized that, I just started crying. I had a conversation in my head with like my younger self where I remembered all of the bullying and remembering all of this stuff. And when that happened, I was like, wow, I always seeked validation in other people. I always allowed the world to tell me if I was worth it or if I was not worth it. And I allowed all of that, and I never thought I was enough. But you know what, guys? Screw that. Because I am enough, and you are enough too. Everybody is enough just the way that they are. And I am so sick and tired of the freaking world telling us what we should be, how we should look like, what we should wear, and like just all of that. Wear what you want. Curl your hair because it makes you feel good and it makes you feel happy. And honestly, the day after that happened, food tasted different for me. I was so in sync with my body. I was like, oh, I'm thirsty. Oh, I want to eat protein. Oh, I want vegetables. I want greens. So if I could give you any advice on your weight loss journey or wherever you are in life, is to really, really sit with yourself and ask yourself these deep questions. Ask yourself, do you love yourself? Do you feel like you're enough? What do you want in life? Really look in yourself. And let me just tell you something. You don't have to feel like you're enough to be enough. You don't have to know how to love yourself to be able to say, you know what? I may not love myself right now, but I'm trying, and that counts. And I want you guys to know that, because these are all of the things that I've realized in my life, and this is actually pretty freaking recent for me, probably within the last month and a half, and you guys might have seen just a huge change on all my social media, and this is why. It's because I've gotten to this point where I'm like, you know what? Screw all of that. The right people and the right things that are going to happen for me in my life, if I'm coming from a place of being positive and coming from a place of loving myself and coming from a place of accepting, that is what life is about. That's it. It's not about who you have to impress. It's not about validating yourself and other people, because all the validation you need is in yourself. And honestly, even if you may not believe in yourself right now, I'm going to tell you that I believe in you, because I really do. I believe in every single one of you, and I believe every single person on this earth has the ability to live their best life. So, yeah, that was a lot, but that's the message that I want to put out into the universe. That is the message that I want you guys to all go out there, and if it resonated with you, tell somebody. Tell the people that you love them and that you're grateful for them and everything. Come from that place, because that's what it's about. And my goal is to build a community of people, and of course, you guys are that community of people, that we really want to go into the world and create this positive change, because that's so important. Teaching people that they're enough and telling them that they're enough until the point that they believe it. And you know what? There are enough people who are on social media that are going to be flaunting their bodies and telling you that you should look like them and all of that. There's enough of that, and honestly, I don't even want to say that that's right or wrong, because for some people, that's what it is for them. But what I want to let you guys know is that for me and for you guys, the message needs to be that I am enough, and telling the world that you're enough and that everybody is enough too. And that's the community I want to create. That's it. And if I can do that, and I can add even one person every single day into that side of the equation, then my work is done, and I am just more than happy, because it's just everything. It's everything. So with that said, if you guys have questions, I am open to answering your questions. So I'm going to scroll through and see what you guys have been saying, because I kind of just went off there on everything. And I do want to say that I really appreciate you guys watching, and I really appreciate all of the support in the comment section right now. It's pretty amazing. Okay, I also want to talk about, so just really quick key things. Can someone ask, how did you lose weight? So for me, it was eating healthy and exercising, and getting enough sleep, drinking water. So those are the 4 key things. If you want long-term, rest of your life being healthy, that's what it is. If you're looking for crash diets, meal plans, all of that stuff, my stuff is not for you. And that's okay that it's not for you, but I'm going to be open and I'm going to be honest. I am not going to promote you going on a crash diet like I did. Like, I'm not going to promote you eating 1,200 calories a day. I am going to tell you that you need to go out there and figure out what it is for yourself. And I want to say that if you're vegan, because I know a lot of you are vegan, and I have eaten vegan for 4 months out of the year, last year and one other time. And then my body just didn't react well. And I know some of you have asked me about a video about why I stopped eating plant-based. So I could do that video if you're interested. Just leave a comment and let me know that that's what you're interested in. But I do want to say, if you are vegan, dude, awesome. If you're paleo, great. If you eat everything and you just like work out like crazy, double thumbs up. Because you know what? There is no cookie cutter diet or way of eating or lifestyle for anyone. What I'm doing is showing you guys what I do, and I'm teaching myself while I'm sharing with you. And I love when you guys share with me. Like, if you find an awesome cracker that is just amazing and you want to share it with me, awesome. I love that, because it's a conversation, you guys. It's about living and learning, as cheesy as that sounds. That's what it's about. And that's what I'm always going to promote. I'm going to always try to help you guys find your best self in terms of eating, in terms of working out. You know, some things that I do are not always going to work for you, and some things that you do are not going to work for me, because we're all different people, and that's what makes it so amazing. Okay, so more questions. How, more specifically, food and whatnot. Okay, so in losing weight, what food and whatnot? So proteins, fats, vegetables, fruit, drinking a lot of water, all of that is really, really important. And you got to find what balance works for you. For me personally, eating protein, like 4 ounces of protein, if we have to get into measurements, and a lot of healthy fats, like you guys know, Team Avo. I eat probably an avocado a day. Today I had 1.5 avocados already. So no, 2.5. No, yeah, no, 2 avocados already. And I also eat a lot of almonds and nuts and almond butter. So for me, that's what works for me. Proteins and fats have a good, as well as vegetables, of course. I eat a lot of greens, probably like a ridiculous amount of greens that I need to add other colors into. But yeah, that's what works for me. And that's what keeps my hormones balanced. And is what keeps everything, working. I won't, TMI, but that's how it works. How did I get through bullying? I don't really think that I got through bullying. I think I coped with eating. That's how I dealt with it. I didn't talk about it. I didn't know how to talk about it. I didn't know anybody that was my size at the time. And my family wanted to be as supportive as they could, but that's something really difficult to understand. If, my mom, she's 5'6" and she's somewhere between 95 and 105 pounds. And she's been that way her entire life. And she eats normal meals, is on a normal routine, but that's just her body type. That's just what she is. So, it was hard. It was really, really hard. In terms of how to deal with bullies, I say write it out. If you can't do anything about it and you can't tell anybody about it and there's nothing to be done about it, because I wouldn't want you to be in a place where you're not safe, I say write in a journal, get your thoughts out, get your feelings out, really just let it out and know that you are enough regardless of these people bullying you, because they're not happy. Happy people don't go and bully people. Like that's like ridiculous, So yeah, and if you are getting bullied, I'm so sorry. That's terrible. And this is why I want to create this community, is because I don't want people to have to deal with that. I want all of us to just build each other up and continue to building each other up. Did you track calories or just eat healthy? Okay, so tracking calories. In terms of tracking calories, not really. I did for a point when I was excessively exercising and I was excessively trying to eat 1,200 calories a day, which I do not recommend. And I'm heavier than that now, but I actually don't know what I weigh. I just eat intuitively now. So I listen to my body. And I know sometimes that could be really hard, especially if you're used to eating processed foods and sugar, because that could really screw up your hormones. But you really need to eat clean and probably I don't want to say detox, but eat clean so your body can kind of like get rid of all of those crazy things that are inside of you, like sugar and toxins and all of that that's like causing havoc on your body. And I did that for about a month, and now I'm super duper in tune with everything. Actually, for me, it was like the moment I realized it, I just became really in tune with it, because your body will tell you if you just listen. It'll tell you if you're thirsty. It'll tell you like what it's craving, all of that. And if you can't do that yet and you feel like you should track your macros and you should track your calories, that's totally okay too, you guys. It's totally okay. Whatever method works best for you. Oh, Marissa, that's amazing. I love you. So yeah, you'll get there. I promise you will get there. How do you maintain your weight? So I listen to my body, and honestly, you guys, your body in terms of weight is probably going to fluctuate between 3 to 5 pounds like on the daily. That's just in terms of water retention, in terms of how much you're working out, in terms of how much food is in your system and all of that. So how I maintain my weight is just really, really listening to what it needs. And so yesterday I was at an Oscar party, and I tried some pizza. I had a part of a macaroon. I had some caramel popcorn. Not a lot, because after a few bites of those things, my body just is like, okay, we good. Okay, Olivia, we good. So when you can get in tune enough with your body will just tell you that. I can never eat an entire cupcake. I just can't. My body just won't let me. And also, right now for me, I'm healing from a knee injury, as well as I sprained my ankle. So I haven't been able to do any hardcore workouts, but my best advice for you guys in terms of workouts is to find something you love, because then it's going to make you happy. So for me, I eat foods and I work out because it makes me happy. And that's what it needs to be, whatever that is for you. Some people like Zumba, some people love yoga. I love yoga. I don't feel like I found the right yoga class yet, but I'm trying to find one. And I love walking outside. I love sometimes just like doing sprints. I love barre classes. It's Barre, and it's kind of like Pilates and yoga and dance all in one. For a lot of people, doing different guides works. In terms of like, all of those like fitness models who have guides and like different 30-minute body workouts. Those don't work for me, because high intensity stuff really screws around with my knees and my ankles. And I have bad knees and ankles. That's just something that I've always had, especially because I was over 200 pounds. And so, when you're carrying that much weight, it's really heavy for your joints and everything. So kind of workouts do you? What about a cheat day? So I do not believe in cheat days. They don't work for me. And honestly, because I allow myself to eat whatever the heck I want to eat, and I just listen to my body and what it wants to eat, most of the time it just wants to eat healthy. It really does. If you're somebody who wants to eat clean for 6 days a week and have a cheat day, great. That works for you, but it doesn't work for me, because sometimes on that cheat day, I'm just not going to want to eat junk food. And random weird fact, I actually don't really like dessert anyway, and I don't really like pizza or burgers. So cheating is weird for me. But like yesterday, I hadn't planned on having a few bites of pizza and some snacks and stuff at the Oscar party that I was at, but I did. And that's totally cool. So like whatever it happens in life is when it happens. And usually the next day, my body's like, vegetables, Olivia, vegetables. So that's kind of what happens. Hopefully that answers your questions about workouts. In terms of what my workout routine usually looks like, I do want to say that. So in a week, I aim to work out about 4 to 5 days a week. Sometimes it's only 3 because it's been raining in California, and I like to exercise outside. I don't like the gym. I know for a lot of people they love the gym, but the gym just doesn't quite work for me. So I like group exercise classes. Those are awesome. Yoga, bar, outside. Those are the 3 that work the best for me. And everybody's different. Some people love dance, and that's totally okay. how do you eat out but stay healthy? Okay, so in terms of that, it's actually easier than you guys think. For me, I've been doing this for so long that it's like, for your plate, basically what you do is you do protein, and then you do vegetables, and then you do some grains. Simple. So if I go to a steakhouse, I will have steak, I will have broccoli, and instead of mashed potatoes, so I'm not a big fan of potatoes, I'll do double the veggies, or I'll do a little bit of rice. So it's really not that difficult. I thought it was, but it's not too bad, because I think a lot of people think, oh, you have to order a salad. I don't know, guys. I haven't eaten a salad in a while because I'm just not feeling the salads. I've been feeling soup a lot, so I've been having a lot of bone broth, which is something that I'm going to be which is something I'm going to be talking more about on my social media and sharing with you guys. And if you guys want a bone broth recipe, we can totally do that as well. But it's been cold, and so my body's like, we want something hot. We don't want salad. So I haven't been eating salad. So don't think that it has to be healthy, has to be one way or the other. It's more about like the food, how nourishing it is for your body, and the nutritional value inside of it, versus thinking like, oh, salad is healthy, but like soup is not, or salad is healthy, but steak is not. You know, it's a balance of everything. How often do you recommend a cheat meal? If you're doing cheat meals, I think my friends that do it, they have a cheat day or a cheat meal once a week. Or I know other friends that do it every 3 days. They have a cheat meal. So whatever works the best for you, you can test it out and try different things. That's what I always recommend to people, is to just try different things. Could you lose weight by drinking water? Okay, so I do want to talk about this, because I think a lot of people go on fasting diets, and that is not healthy, and you don't actually end up losing fat. So when people are talking about losing weight, you're just talking about a number on the scale. But what you actually want to do if you want to sustain long-term weight loss, I don't even want to say weight loss, but long-term health, is you want to lose fat, because that's what's important. You don't want your arteries to be clogged. You don't want to have heart problems, all of that. Long-term health, which means eating balanced meals, which means eating, depending on what works for you, 3 or 6 times a day. Some people like 6 small meals. Some people like 3 big meals. I like 3 big meals, and then having snacks if I'm still hungry in between. So whatever that looks like for you. So yeah, no, I would say, please don't try to lose weight doing juice cleanses. Don't try to lose weight just drinking water for days. Don't try to lose weight by eating under, an X amount of calories. Like, that's not sustainable in the long run. And if that's what you want, there are plenty of other people on social media that are doing that. I am not going to promote that. I am all about finding your balance and finding something that you can sustain in the long run, so you can live happy and you can be healthy. And that's something that is just intuitively part of your life. Yes, you will be able to rewatch this after. Also, if you guys have not subscribed yet, please subscribe down there. There's a button. Subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. And all of my social media links are also in the description box just below here. So if we're not, interacting on there yet, add me. We can interact. I answer everybody. I swear, I answer everyone. And I'm going to keep doing that until the point where I can't do that. Hopefully that, I'm just going to keep trying to do that as much as I possibly can, because I want to help you guys out as much as I can. So if I'm a little bit slow, you guys know why, but I'm going to try to answer everybody. Okay. So Kawaii Moonlight 78 said, did you weigh yourself a lot when you were losing weight? I find myself wanting to weigh myself every day. Okay, do not weigh yourself every day, first of all. At most, if you're going to be weighing yourself, weigh yourself once a week at the same time, every single week. Because like I said earlier, your weight is going to shift day to day by 3 to 5 pounds, sometimes up to 10 pounds if you had too much salt and your body's retaining a lot of water. Sometimes you drink a lot of water, so you're going to be heavier. Same time, once a week, every time. Same time. Yeah. Okay. You guys know what I mean, right? I personally don't, because for me it's triggering and I've been able to sustain it. What the heck is that? Do you guys see that in that corner above my head? Okay, that's a little weird. Anyways, so yeah, definitely if you don't need to weigh yourself, I recommend not. But if you have to, once a week. What steps would you recommend to help cut out sugar? First of all, do research. When you do research and you really begin to learn more about healthy eating or about sugar, about weight loss, about whatever it is, you have a better idea and a better foundation of why you want to do it. In terms of sugar, it's kind of one of those things where you have to cut it out cold turkey, especially if you've been intaking it for a long time so that your body can not be so addicted to it. One of the Netflix documentaries I recommended last time was Fed Up. Watch that. Go online and do research because sugar is terrible for you. It's super duper addictive. It turns, when you ingest it, basically it just turns into fat in your body and stores as fat. Like you don't want that. That's not to say that if you want to have ice cream or a cupcake once in a while or have birthday cake on your birthday that you can't. But I'm saying like sugar, not the best. Can you explain what macros are? Okay, macronutrients are basically a balance between proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. And depending on what your goals are, whether it's fat loss or muscle gain, whatever it is, you have a specific, balance of macros, and this is different for everybody, and usually a fitness trainer or a nutritional coach can give you your personal macros, and it's going to be completely different for every single person depending on their goals. So there's no cookie cutter way of doing that, but that's basically what macros are, and that is when you look on the back of any type of food, the nutrition label, it'll tell you like, oh, this has 15 grams of total carbs, or this has like 30 grams of sugar, which never eat anything that has 30 grams of sugar, but that's what macros are. Did you have cellulite and stretch marks? Did they reduce as you lost weight? Everybody has cellulite and stretch marks. Okay, let's I'm just gonna get it out there. I also have very flabby arms, and I still have like a little stomach pouch, and I have like some cellulite on my thighs. That's life, you guys. Love yourself as you are, because that is so unrealistic to not have cellulite and to not have stretch marks. And if you don't, oh my gosh, that's great for you, but I do, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm going to love myself the way that I am, and you should too. That's what I say about that. Let's see. Gym doesn't work for me either. Yeah. Yes, girl power. Let's see. I don't like exercise. How do I get motivated to do it? Like I was talking about earlier, find an exercise that you do like, whether it's swimming, whether it's going for a walk, whether it's window shopping at the mall for 2 hours, whatever gets you moving. Or if you get one of those, what are they called? Those like tracker thingies, either an Apple Watch or a Fitbit or whatever. One of those things tends to help some people. I know people who like to be like, wow, I met my 10,000 steps today. So that works. Whatever is going to motivate you. So try different things, because that's really important. There isn't going to be one cookie cutter answer for every single person. Let's see. So I do want to say I am going to upload this video after the live stream ends, so you guys can come back and watch it at any point that you want. It doesn't have to be like right this second. If you have to go. Let's see. Okay. So this brings me to a question that I have for you guys. If you would please comment in the live chat and let me know what you guys want me to talk about next week. So I've had a few requests on people asking me to talk about the fact that I stopped eating a plant-based diet or a vegan diet. For the record, I was never vegan. I ate plant-based, but I was very like, okay guys. So that's something you guys want me to talk about. Let me know. If you guys want to see, I don't know, more groceries or whatever it is. And also, I want to say we are doing this every Monday, 5 p.m. And I am bringing the hashtag live and learn to this. Every Monday, this is what you guys can come to. We can hang out. We can talk. I can help you guys with whatever you need help with. Like the other day, someone messaged me and wanted advice on one of her friends who she thinks has a crush on her, but she doesn't have a crush on them back. And I answered. So, whatever it is, it's not just about health, it's about life, everything. More groceries. Do 5 ingredients or less. Okay, yeah, all of that. I mean, I've been just like roasting up everything. Is there a way to reduce love handles? Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. Let's talk about spot reduction. So some people are like, how do I get a flatter stomach? How do I get smaller thighs? How do I reduce love handles? So you can do exercises that target those areas, but in order for you to lose fat in those areas, you have to lose fat overall. And that comes down to genetics. So for me, I tend to store a lot of my fat in my thighs and my hips and my boobs. For an Asian girl, I have big boobs. I don't know why. You can't really tell here, and I'm not that I'm gonna like show you guys, but it's just one of those things that it comes down to genetics, like where you store your fat. So if you want to reduce any particular spot on your body, you can tone it more, but you have to reduce the fat overall. So that comes with healthy eating and exercise. Let's see, what else? Okay, so I'm gonna stick around for about 5 more minutes, and then if you guys have any questions at all, just ask in the live chat, the live chat. Maybe health, beauty, hygiene products you like or use. Yeah, that would be, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I could totally show you guys the products I'm using. So one of the things I'm trying to do is be more non-toxic and use products that are better for that sort of thing. And if you haven't yet, it would be awesome if you guys thumbs up this video. So I know that, you know, that this, I am still a little bit nervous. So just a little bit of encouragement would be awesome. And I really appreciate all of you guys watching for as long as we've been hanging out for 41 minutes. Like, that is awesome, you guys. I love you guys. I seriously do. Yeah, man, holy cow. And let's see, what else can I tell you guys? You guys are so sweet. I'm going to go through all of the comments again after I get off of here because you guys are just great. I couldn't read all of them. They went a little bit fast, which is incredible because I didn't think there was going to be so many of you guys. This is awesome, you guys. So awesome. Let me see if there's anything else I can share with you guys. How do you eat your vegetables? Oh, okay. Right now I've been roasting all my vegetables. Today on my Snapchat and Insta story, you guys saw that I have roasted up pretty much everything. What I like to do is meal prep. I don't really want to call it meal prep because I don't really do it every single week, but kind of. So I roast up a bunch of vegetables that I have, and I usually get all my groceries on Mondays, which I'm going to go do after this. And I roast up everything because I just really love roasted vegetables. Steamed vegetables are okay, stir-fried are okay, but roasted, that's my jam. So I roast a bunch of stuff, including proteins and meats, and then I usually use avocado oil, Team Avo, yeah. And I store it in jars and put it in my refrigerator, and put it in my refrigerator, and I will just heat up stuff throughout the week, and I'll also add in different things depending on what else I feel like cooking. How do you change up your meals? So with my meals, I tend to eat a lot of the same things throughout the week, but I have a variety of different foods. So I usually have yogurt in my fridge. So in terms of breakfast, I either have a smoothie, I'll have yogurt or toast, and those are kind of my like 3 things, but I change up what goes into them. But I like to, for my like lunch and dinners, I like to always just have a bunch of roasted stuff in the refrigerator, and then I change it up by using different ones of those, and then sometimes having hummus, sometimes having almond cheese, just different kinds of spreads and whatnot. Oh my gosh, hi from Chile. That's so cool. I do want to give a shout out to my male fans. I don't even want to call you guys fans. My male friends out there, because you guys are not fans. You guys are my friends. I really feel like every single one of you are my friends. And I never want to think that I'm above you guys, because that's lame. And because somehow there are way more of you now, which is cool, I guess. And also shout out, because the last live stream, I looked at the analytics, and yeah, shout out to South America because there's so many of you, and shout out to Korea because there's a bunch of you too. So yeah, thanks guys for following me. I had no idea that there were people from all over the world. Okay. What if you're hungry for chips or chocolate? What do you replace it with? Oh my gosh, crackers. I love crackers and dip. So salsas, almond cream cheese, hummus, that is the best. Chocolate, just get dark chocolate. I eat a lot of chocolate. Not gonna lie, I do. I like this dark chocolate, usually 60 to 70% cacao. That works for me, you know? Eat healthier chocolates that are made mostly from cacao. Oh my gosh. Hi, Australia. That's so cool. I want to go down under. That'd be really cool. Do you heat up your meals in the microwave, or are you against microwaves? I use a microwave. I'll also use a toaster oven. Just the most convenient. I don't really know. I've done some research on like microwaves and like how it's like not necessarily the healthiest or something like that. And I don't know exactly. Some people say it does nothing. Some people says it does something. Hi, Sam from Ireland. Thank you for just being so supportive on Snapchat all the time. You guys are awesome. Also, Jennifer and Dally Paul, hopefully Pal. I'm so sorry. I'm like probably messing up that name, but I see you guys all the time and I really appreciate all of your support. So I do want to say that. What about roasting? How do you roast your vegetables? I do it in the oven. If you guys follow me on Snapchat or Insta Story, you guys know that I do it in the oven. Even today, if you guys want to go and add me on Snapchat or on Instagram, you can check out how I did it today, kind of, sort of. Basically 400 to 450 degrees, and depending on the vegetable and the meat, the amount of time. I can see if I could do a roasting video next week. I think that would be really interesting, but I think it would be really difficult because for most of it, we're just going to be sit there waiting for things to roast. But we'll see. We'll see. Or I'll just do a full-length YouTube video where I'm roasting vegetables. That would probably be easier. Is there the controversy that coconut oil is too high in saturated fat? Is it really good to be eating, or is it okay in moderation? I eat coconut oil. I think anything should be like in moderation, right? You don't want to eat like 20 avocados a day either, even though I love avocados. Everything in moderation. My cousin even... we were talking about this, and in certain greens, there is a, I don't remember what the compound is called, but for him, it built up in his liver. So he started getting issues with his liver, and then he had to eat less of it. So even certain vegetables, when you eat just too much of one kind, can be a problem. How do you handle loose skin? I love it. I don't know. I mean, I don't really think too much about it. I mean, I have been really insecure about it before. But I think it's just one of those things where you're like, well, can't do nothing about this. So, you know, it's there. It's a part of your life. I know it's really difficult to just be like, okay, yeah, it doesn't matter when society's telling you that it does. But honestly, find it within yourself to be secure enough in yourself, to love yourself, to tell yourself every day that you're enough, and do it over and over and over and over until you believe it. Because screw that. Screw all of that, because I don't know anybody who has a perfect body. And I will say this, okay, I don't know if any of you guys follow Alexis Wren on Instagram, but she's like got 7 million followers, and she recently got a boob job and her lips done. So I'm like, you are supposed to be the epitome of the iconic perfect girl out there, and you still went and got surgery. So it's like, even she didn't feel like she was enough and wanted to get stuff done. And maybe she did it from a place where she loved herself and she wanted to do that. But I feel like there's just too much society pressure, and even that happens. And I don't know, that just made me so frustrated that we live in a culture where we're allowing other people to tell us the way that we should look. I mean, we can't control that. That's genetics, you know? I mean, we can be healthier and we can work out, but at the end of the day, you gotta love yourself. You have to. That's the only way. Buying in with processed sugars. How do I go about telling them to get healthier food? Well, I say sit them down, be really honest with them. Someone asked their family is buying processed foods and they want to start eating healthier. So, Roxy, yeah, you're right. It is her choice. It is Alexis Wren's choice to do all of that. Not that I'm saying that if you're getting plastic surgery, there's anything wrong with it, but I'm saying like she felt the need to possibly do something to her body that she didn't think it was good enough the way that it was. But why? Why do we think that? Where does that come from? You know, I think she's beautiful still, and I thought she was beautiful then. That's what I'm saying. And okay, so back to that. Parents not keep buying unhealthy food. You're going to have to sit them down and really, really just tell them like how you feel about that, because they're not necessarily going to know, and you have to do it from a loving place, a place of like, Mom and Dad, like I really want to eat healthy and I hope that you can support me on it. And, you know, please, if you can, buy more healthier food. I want the whole family to just eat healthier. That's something that you can start with. Hi from New Zealand. I actually have cousins in New Zealand, so it's really cool. I really hope to visit someday. So yeah, hi Sarah. Is coconut oil good for your skin, or should you dilute it with other things? I just rub it on my skin. If you guys look, I think it's back there. Right. This is so hard to do. Right there. That's a jar of coconut oil that I lather on myself every night. After I take a shower, and on my lips too. So it's good for everything. And sometimes I'll do a hair mask for my hair. How do you handle? Oh, I skipped one. Are frozen or pre-cut bagged veggies just add regular veggies? No, it's best to eat the fresh veggies if you can. But if you can't because your schedule gets crazy, sometimes mine does. I have to freeze things, and you know, it's just whatever works for your lifestyle. How do you handle people telling you how you should lose weight, but you know you are trying? That's really hard. I feel like in terms of how you handle that, I think that you have to take it with a grain of salt, because other people are always going to be telling you what to do and what they think of you. And you kind of have to learn to stand on your own 2 feet and say that, you know, I'm already doing this and I'm doing it at my own pace. And it's not really your job to respond to them necessarily. You don't owe them anything in terms of like their opinion of you. You know, your opinion of yourself is what is most important. Skincare routine. Oh my gosh, I have like so little skincare routine. Honestly, I always take my makeup off, and I rarely ever just do like one cleaning. I always do like 2 different cleanings, and a lot of my products are super duper clean. There isn't any chemicals and stuff like that. So if you guys want me to do a kind of tour of all the products that I'm using, because I'm transitioning to get even cleaner products. You guys know I recently got a natural deodorant that works, which is awesome. So yeah, that's one of the things that I can eventually like kind of show you guys, like skincare kind of stuff. But in terms of like at night, usually it's just coconut oil on the face, on the body, taking the makeup off. Oil is a great way to take your makeup off. I recommend using jojoba oil to take your makeup off, and that's it. I also have a couple different products like organic moisturizers and stuff that I like use every now and then, but I'm very basic when it comes to that stuff. Coconut oil is pretty much awesome for everything. How do you stop eating by a certain time of night? Is it important? Thanks, Levy. Love you too. Okay, so if you're trying to stop eating at a certain time of night, first of all, why? That's what I kind of want to know. Secondly, so if you are getting hungry at night, a good snack to combat that is a spoonful of nut butter, something that is higher in healthy fat. Avocados, that helps with cravings. All of that is great. Healthy fats, nut butter, something like that, yogurt, something that's going to be pretty easy for your body to digest, so that you can just go to bed afterwards if that's necessary. But I don't really have an exact time where I stop eating at night. I just know that if I'm going to be eating later, to eat stuff that's going to be easier to digest. So a smoothie is good too, although sometimes the smoothies, because it gives me a lot of energy to have fruit, I like to have that in the morning instead of at night. But for me, at night, usually I do something that has like higher healthy fats. Hopefully this answers your question. If it doesn't, feel free to comment something else and I will try to answer your question. How do you stop craving for sugar and junk so much? You got to stop eating it. You got to stop eating it. Wait, a natural deodorant that works. What is it? Okay, I have it right here. This is the brand that I use. You know, it's been working so far, but also I don't sweat that much, so that's it. How do you stop black marks under your arms? I'm not sure what you mean by black marks, Ashley, if you can explain more. I do want to go back to Little Miss Lena Nguyen's question a little bit more and talk about more of that in depth. About stop craving for sugar and junk food. So sugar is addictive. I talked about earlier to watch the documentary Fed Up and do research. It is super duper addictive in your body. And junk food is as well, because what companies do when they're creating chips and different things like that is they create a perfect ratio of sweet and salty. So it's kind of like this salty, sweet, savory thing, and then you end up eating an entire bag of chips. And they do this on purpose because they want you to buy more of their products. So of course they're going to put preservatives and additives to make your body crave those things. So the only way you can really stop craving them is to stop eating them. So hopefully this answers your question. Oh my gosh. Hi, Cassie. I love you. You're amazing. What is your favorite junk food to healthify? Favorite junk food to healthify? Well, I mean, you guys should know that there is a bunch of healthify junk foods on my YouTube channel, but I would have to say, oh gosh, this is such a hard question. Yeah, I would definitely probably say cookies. I really like healthy cookies. It's like one of my favorite things. My sister right now is actually making healthy cookies at home right now, so I'm excited to be eating those either tomorrow or if I head over to my mom's to see her later today. So yeah, I would say cookies. This might change though. Where did you start with food? Lena, I'm not really sure what you mean by that. Also, I said I was going to stay for 5 minutes, but I'm like 15 minutes later still here. But that's okay because you guys have questions and I want to make sure that I answer all of your questions. What do you do to take your mind off of food? Okay. Hi, June. This is hard. My mind is on food a lot, but also not at all. I think what has worked for me to get out of that mindset was to stop putting so much weight on food and start putting more weight on how food feels in my body when I eat it. So I feel like crap if I eat pizza. I feel like crap if I eat like heavy foods that don't have nutrients in them. I feel slow, I feel sluggish, I feel lethargic. So all of that happens. If you can just focus on that more and going in that direction is what really has helped me. And also not categorizing good and bad food. So yeah, okay. You know, there's not as much nutritional value in chips than there is in kale. But if I really feel like having a few chips, which only happens maybe once a year, maybe like at a party and it's there and I want a few chips, I'll just eat them. You know, you can't put so much weight on food because that's what ends up happening is you end up binging, which I've dealt with like a huge portion of my life. And especially if you're restricting yourself, that is when you tend to have the mindset of your mind going like, oh my God, food. So hopefully that helps you out. Also, I do want to say that I'm not a doctor. I am not a therapist. And there are things out there like therapists that can help you with this, nutritionalists that can help you with this. So find what works for you. If what I do works for you, awesome. But if someone else works better for you, I'd rather you do that because ultimately I want every single one of you to be happy and healthy. It's not about like, oh, follow me because I'm so cool on social media. It's not about that. I want you guys to live your best lives. Can you make more recipes? Sure. How do you learn to limit yourself? Hi, Christina. I don't limit myself. The moment you start limiting yourself is when you start causing this mindset of binging because you're restricting. So then you're in a cycle of restricting and like binging. At least that's how it was for me. I maybe, like I was saying earlier, talk to a professional that knows more about this. But I realized that if I eat just to nourish my body and how my body feels, I'm done usually after 3 pieces of chocolate. That's just how it happens, like 3 of the little squares. And then I'm satisfied. So eat for satisfaction and nourishment, not for restricting or a way that you want to look. Hi, are you vegan? No, I'm not vegan. And I also want to say, going back to that a little bit, is you have to free yourself from that mindset of restricting in order for you to eat less, if that makes sense. If that's the way I would put it. And sometimes if I feel like eating 5 or 6 pieces of chocolate, I eat 5 or 6 pieces of chocolate. Then you're not giving food that type of weight over you. You know, you have to let that go. How do you deal with unwarranted commentary on your body? This is a really good question. Thank you for asking this question. How you deal with that is you know that is a perception that they're making, and that says more about them than it says about you. If you're a happy person and you're secure in yourself, you're very, very unlikely to say something mean or talk about someone else in a negative manner. So just remember that it's whatever comes out of other people is more about them than it is about you. How much water is enough? For me, I drink a lot of water. So I've got water here. So this mason jar, I probably drink about 5 to 8 of these a day. But more water is better. I know you're going to pee a lot, but that's all good. You know, it's part of life. How do you feel when you eat healthy? Oh my gosh, so in tune with everything. I know when I have a lot of energy and I want to go work out because I ate a good amount the night before. So I'm like, oh my God, I have so much energy. I need to get it out. And everything is just much more balanced along with sleep and drinking water. Once I am balanced, I feel great all the time. And well, since we're going to be talking about this, so then I end up pooping a lot too because that's part of it. I poop like 3 to 5 times a day sometimes, you know, I know it's not the cutest thing to talk about, but it's true. When your digestion and everything is just working in sync, you pee a lot and you poop a lot and you feel great. Let's see. How often do you work out? How long do they usually last? I talked about this earlier, but I aim for 4 to 5 days a week and usually an hour to an hour and a half. So anyways, okay, I gotta go now because I gotta go to the grocery store. And no, I don't detox. So that's not something that I do. I just eat healthy as much as I possibly can. So that's it. I want to say that I'm going to be back next Monday to answer any of your questions. 5 p.m. Pacific time, same time. We're going to hang out. It's awesome hanging out with you guys for an hour. Like, that was amazing. I love you guys. And if you would, please thumbs up this video so I can have some encouragement, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet so that we could stay in touch. I'm going to put an end card here, I think, after the video uploads. So there might be another video like here-ish that you guys can click on. And if you want to keep in touch with me on social media, I am going to be working with companies to get you guys some free, awesome, healthy things all throughout this year. So every single month, I'm going to be giving away something on social media. So add me on social media. It's at LoveHealthOK on everything. The direct links are in the description box below. And lastly, if this video helped you at all, go talk about it. Go spread the word on being healthy, loving yourself, and spread that community. Let's all be a positive change in this world because that's what I think is really important. I love you guys. Remember, you're enough. You really are. So I will see you guys next week. Mwah! Bye.